I've said it once, I've said it a million times. My biggest piece of tax advice is to file your tax return early. Why, you ask? Well, for several reasons. First of all, filing early stops someone else from using your or your family's personal information to file a fake tax return and possibly steal your tax refund. Tax scams and fraudsters are out there. This year will be no different than years past. Plain and simple. Filing early and filing electronically helps protect you against identity theft and tax refund theft. Filing early also means you'll get your tax refund sooner. And 3 out of 4 people get a tax refund every year, and likely this year. And also, if you have a balance due or you owe taxes, it means you have more time to pay. The deadline to file and the deadline to pay is April 15th. But just because you file sooner doesn't mean you have to pay the state or the IRS the same date you file. Perhaps the biggest secret in tax filing, just because you file early or before April 15th does not mean you must pay then. You still have until April 15th to pay your taxes if you owe. So file early. If you have a refund, get a refund earlier. If you owe, you still have until April 15th to pay. It's that simple. Just like filing early gives you more time to pay, it also gives you more time to figure out your unique situation if you run into any surprises, issues, or if you're missing data or documents. More time is never a bad thing, and not something you have to worry about the night of April 15th. Taxpayers claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit, also known as the EITC, should file early as well. But do need to know there will be a small delay in receiving your tax refund, but you should still file early. This short additional delay for EITC tax refunds should change nothing on all the reasons to file early. In fact, because EITC filers have generally more complicated tax returns, like dependents and other income, filing early is all the more important. Plus, those who claim the EITC generally have a larger refund, hence the importance of electronic filing and electronic refund deposit. So what documents do you actually need in order to file your income taxes? Generally, everyone will need to have an unexpired government-issued photo ID, like your driver's license. Social Security cards are a nice-to-have, but not a must-have. Last year's federal and state tax returns, also not a must-have, but a good way to jumpstart your tax preparation. Income documents, all of which you should receive by the end of January, include your W-2s, your 1099s, unemployment benefit statements, retirement income documents like your Form 1099-R or your Social Security SSA 1099, savings and investment documents as with dividends and interest, as well as other documents around other income, including last year's state tax refund, gambling income, and prizes and awards you might have won. Additional information to be noted, records of self-employment income and activity, records of income from rental properties that you might have, and if you have any dependents, you'll also need to have all of their information, their full names, dates of birth, Social Security numbers or tax ID number, and child care records are a nice to have, especially if sharing custody in a complicated family situation. And if you're self-employed, which 40 million Americans are this year, you'll need to have records of your home office expenses, car and vehicle expenses, business expenses you might have incurred like advertising, business cards, bank fees, office supplies, and on and on. The amount of each estimated tax payment made during the year also important. And then finally, other expenses including computers, cell phones, and perhaps internet charges that are related to your business. You'll also need to understand what deductions you qualify for and have good records to use when you file your income taxes, whether you're taking the standard deduction or itemizing. And there are many expenses to keep track of. Medical expenses, education expenses, including tuition and fees paid, as well as the 1098E for student loan interest you might have paid during the year. And charitable contributions. And a quick reminder from this video, new this year, you can claim charitable contributions up to $300 even if you don't itemize deductions. Now this may sound like a lot and can be overwhelming, but I promise if you get started early and only have a little upfront work, you will be in the best shape come tax time. Plus, there's no downside to filing early. It's safer, it's generally more accurate, and you'll either get your tax refund earlier or get more time to make that tax payment on April 15th. So file early, or at least as early as you can. Schedule your appointment today and find a full checklist of what you need to bring when you meet with your tax pro at jacksonhewitt.com. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to get more seasonal tax tips.